What's going on, folks? Welcome to Wizards Outlook. We got Randy Lyons here. Some type of noon. Another rough week for the Washington Wizards with Orlando. Rally from 20 down in the first half. Orlando did a really good job kind of closing the second quarter strong. So they didn't have as much of a chunk to cut into, but it's another one of those games, right, where horrible third quarter. Orlando wins the third quarter 31-18, and, you know, executed a little bit better down the stretch, tight screws in the defense. Walk out of here with a W after going down 20 in the first half. Let me get your thoughts on this one.
Um, yeah, man, it's just similar story. Teams they just wait until their moment. Like it's like they just hunt momentum swings against this team, and once they hit their stride, the Wizards just fold. Like you said, man, they were up 21 in the first half. That should be that should be a decent enough cushion for you to not have to be fighting for your life at a later point in the game. But the Magic walked that down. Went into the half with the game close, and then opened it up in the third quarter. And we all know with the Wizards, when they have an uphill climb, they just don't make progress. It is what it is, man. With their defensive woes, it makes it that much harder for them to come back from deficits, and it makes it that much harder to stop the other team's momentum because the resistance is just not there. So once the team gets rolling and things kind of get going for them, it's pretty much a done deal for the Wizards. And we've seen that time and time again this season, which speaks to their record. We talk about, I feel like the last maybe 3 or 4 games, we've had the winnable game conversation. And this was another one. Like you stop one of those spurts by the Magic, and you probably come away with this game. Obviously, if you stop them from walking down your 20-point lead, you're in good shape. If you stop them from, that third quarter run, you're in good shape. But you put both of those together and you get a double-digit loss. So yeah, it's disappointing to see, but at this point, you just gotta take it at face value. Things aren't going to change overnight. They are competing better than they were in the early part of the season, but it's still not converting into wins. They gotta find a way to we'll get some folks in here that can find a way to finish these games, because they've had quite a few within their grasp that they just weren't able to close.
Yeah, there's another one of these games where I almost feel like it's kind of a broken record type thing at different times of season. Right? Only as of late, it's Jordan Poole had another game where he got it going offensively. Clearly, coming, spearheading the second unit, getting to play the ball a little bit more. It's kind of put some life back into his step. Been a little bit more consistent with some of these offensive performances, but it's all from naught when you can't get stops on the other end. Felt like we watched a veteran team. Orlando's not a veteran team by any means. They feel like they went down 20 and attacked it in a veteran fashion. Gallo was looking to facilitate almost the entire first half. France, came out ready to go. Like with him, I feel like it's just on site. See, Washington is on site. It doesn't matter. He kind of kept them into it. But I was sitting here, I was tweeting, I think it was like 3-4 minutes left in the first half. I'm like, Washington got to close this first half strong. Otherwise, everything that they've done is a completely different game if Orlando goes into the half down 12 or 14, where you could have had the opportunity to push it to 25 or something like that. Folks are like, well, forget it. Get it back in blood on another night or something, right? But that wasn't the case. They got it within 12, and I'm like, okay, here we go. And the third quarter started. Washington didn't get on the scoreboard for like nearly the first 5 minutes, right? Like I think it's 7 minutes, 7 seconds left in the third quarter. And Kingsford gets to the line for two free throws. That was all Orlando. Not like they weren't dominating the sense of how many points they had at that time, but it was all them to start the second half. And Washington got back into it a little bit, and then Orlando, it was a game of runs, went on a run later in the third, and it's 31-18 in the third. Now you're in a whole different thing. You trade baskets and whatnot. And we just watched Orlando kind of execute, man, down the stretch. Some back-breaking buckets. And I almost laughed at somebody next to me was like, let Mo Wagner close it to a degree. And the look on said person's face, man, just that's tough. Like Mo Wagner, those 16 points were huge in this game, especially in the fourth. And that's the stuff we're talking about. Going this game, we talk about Orlando size and things of that nature. I think that kind of reared its head third quarter, fourth quarter. We usually see Denny and Kuzma get downhill and able to bully their way into defenders and get fouls. And those were bigger. I thought Franz did a really good job defensively, as did Paolo and his brother Mo. But I was, yeah, shout out to Orlando for the job they did to close. Player of the game for you.
Man, I'm gonna go Franz Wagner. He kind of set the tone. Like you said, it's on site, man. He see them, his eyes get big, start licking his fingers. It's just time to eat. Yeah, he came out immediately and went to work. Finished with 25, 5 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 blocks. 9 of 15 from the field. Of course, nobody shoots below 50% against the Wizards. But yeah, I go with France for play of the game.
Yeah, the only reason I agree with you, obviously, but I think the only reason I'm not going Paolo is France is from opening tip to the end on their neck the entire time. X Factor, which was, I guess, a tough one for me. I just went with Mo. They got it tonight.
Yeah.
Go ahead, you.
12 in the fourth quarter, man. He closed them out. Like that's be better than that, man. Not Mo Wagner. no disrespect to him, but
that's not the Wagner where that's acceptable. Right. See, I didn't even realize it at the time. 12 of his 16 in the fourth, including a back-breaking corner play. Oh man, all right. They got a couple days, and Charlotte comes in here. We'll see if they can get off the slide. We got a couple comments. Area 11 team with. I have no further comments to that. Nah, I don't have time for conspiracy theories tonight. We saved that for like the last away game. But I feel like right now it's a little too early. Again, like you said, it was another one. Got to execute that, man. It's just disheartening because they're the ones with the veterans in that situation. And it was the kids closing out this game. Before the buzzer, we got our almost over there young guys aggressive, loud, non-existent. Kids we struggled recently. I think. Go ahead, Ray, and then I'll chime in.
Me, I wouldn't call it regression. They're young, like they don't, especially Bilal. He's a rookie, and him he gets unlimited passes from me because of what he does on the defensive end. And it's not like he's just out there playing good defense. He's guarding the best player most nights. And to try to figure that out and then ask him to do what some other guys should be doing on the offensive end as well. It's just no continuity, man, no leadership. And when you don't defend, you're going to be up and down like this. it's hard to get into a flow offensively when you know you don't get anything easy for the most part, and you always taking the ball out the net. So it's just yeah, it's just a lot they're dealing with, and no, and yeah, when they play bad, they got to own that. But yeah, it's a hellhole and down there right now, for lack of a better word, man. And I I can't say I agree with that. Struggling recently on defense. I mean, he's had tall tasks recently on defense as well. So, I mean, if you mean by struggling, he's not having people in shackles. I don't know, man. But yeah, he's not the guy. Bilal's not the guy I'm looking at right now. Um,
On the Bilal thing, like I'm with you, man. This is rookie year. He's going through it. He just got back from what was that? Pelvic injury after the hard fall. I'm with you, man. I just need him to get through the year, and I'm looking forward to see what it looks like. But all season, get a little bit bigger physically because he now knows what it takes to get through the years, and everything's still on like it's a learning experience for him. But for the older guys, man, a lot of this is just unacceptable. Man. Like it just, why is it routinely like it's bully ball for some teams, other teams it's not. Like either you guys play that way or you don't play that way, and that's what I'm saying. Like you're 6'9" or 6'10", regardless of what day it is, what team it is. Like with this, I mean, like Orlando, regardless of what's going on. One of them 6'9", like, between Frowns and Paolo, at some point during the game, someone's gonna put their head down and shoulders going through someone's chest because they need a bucket. This is what it is. Yeah, man. It just comes down to defense. Man. You have to get stops. There's nothing else to it. And yeah, it's good seeing Jordan, find his legs offensively, which is wonderful. But look, man, they don't have a scoring issue. None of that matters. It's tough. Bilal. I also think some of the stuff with Bilal is as the other stuff gets better around him. I think you're less likely to jump and do some of the things you do. When you probably can you imagine that pressure you have? You feel like you're on an island where probably if the dude gets switched off, you probably don't have great confidence that anything better, anything good is happening after that. I mean, even what's it called late in the game? We saw a lot of the times. What were they doing? They were having Cole Anthony screen on Apollo's man so Apollo would get a smaller defender over and over again, and it wasn't allowed. And I'm not getting into who it was, but just in general, we see team after team do this late in games. Their guys get to pick the matchup they want to hunt, and it was just weird watching a young team. I mean, not super young, but credit to Orlando. That's what Orlando did. They did what we've seen veteran teams do. They did what the Clippers did a couple nights ago. Found the matchup. We saw the Lakers do it late. Found the matchup and keep spamming said matchup until they get what they wanted. But again, they got Charlotte coming in. This losing streak is that number is climbing. Ray, I know what you were talking about this week on the focus for what you're rooting for. It is a despicable thing to be rooting for where they are in terms of what they face Detroit. I hope they get off the slide because it's going to be rough out here in the real world and on social media. But yeah, man, it was a tough one. We'll see you guys Friday night, man. I have nothing further to add. They were about 21. You got to close quarter strong. And again, the disheartening thing is we're not talking about a young team. This is not very mature here, 11 teams.